In American public life, certain individuals rise above the noise, capturing the nation's attention and shaping the way we talk about politics, culture, and identity. These figures don't just participate in the conversation, they drive it, influencing millions and setting the tone for national debates. Donald Trump, who has served as both the 45th and 47th President of the United States, is one of the most influential and polarizing voices in recent history. His unapologetically direct style, bold rhetoric, and the rise of the MAGA movement have not only redefined the Republican Party, but have also shifted the entire landscape of American politics. Trump's rallies draw massive crowds, and his ability to energize his supporters is unmatched in modern times. On the other side of the spectrum stands Charlamagne The God, a radio host, author, and cultural commentator. Known for his fearless interviews and willingness to ask tough, uncomfortable questions, Charlamagne has become a powerful voice for young Americans and Black voters. His influence extends beyond radio, shaping conversations about race, justice, and accountability in the United States. Trump leverages his political power and massive social media following to speak directly to his base, bypassing traditional media filters. Meanwhile, Charlamagne uses his platform to challenge political leaders, amplify community concerns, and demand transparency from those in power. Both use their unique platforms to connect with their audiences in ways that traditional politicians and commentators often cannot. Their recent clash isn't just a personal feud, it's a public confrontation that highlights a much deeper struggle for the soul and direction of the Republican Party, and by extension, the country itself. At the heart of their debate are questions of loyalty, power, and transparency, issues that have come to the forefront, especially in light of the ongoing controversy surrounding the Jeffrey Epstein case. The way these issues are discussed and handled will have lasting implications for American democracy. These two communicators, coming from vastly different backgrounds and representing different communities, now find themselves on opposite sides of a major national issue. Their words and actions are being watched closely by millions, and their influence is undeniable. The disagreement between Trump and Charlamagne is more than just a headline. It's a reflection of the deep divisions and ongoing debates within the Republican Party, and it raises urgent questions about the party's future direction, its values, and its ability to unite its members. To truly understand this pivotal moment in American politics, it's essential to listen to both voices, consider their perspectives, and recognize the broader forces at play. The outcome of this clash will help shape the nation's political landscape for years to come. The latest chapter in this unfolding political story began on August 2, 2025, a date that would soon be discussed across newsrooms and social media feeds nationwide. On that day, Charlamagne The God made a headline-grabbing appearance on Fox News' My View with Lara Trump, stepping into a space where few expected to see him. Sitting across from the president's daughter-in-law, Charlamagne didn't hold back. He delivered a bold prediction, telling Lara Trump that a major shift was brewing within the Republican Party, one that could reshape the party's future. He explained that the same forces that had propelled Donald Trump to power were now stirring up new energy, creating space for fresh leadership to emerge from within the party's own ranks. Charlamagne suggested that the Republican Party was at a crossroads, with its base growing restless and eager for change. He pointed out that history often repeats itself, and that political movements can quickly shift direction when the right moment arrives. On a conservative network, he told Lara Trump that a rebellion was coming, not as an attack, but as a clear-eyed political analysis. His words were measured, but the message was unmistakable. He highlighted the growing frustration among conservative voters, suggesting that this discontent could soon challenge the party's current leadership and force a reckoning with its direction. The interview quickly became a political flashpoint. Charlamagne's claims spread rapidly across media outlets, sparking heated debates among pundits, party insiders, and everyday Americans alike. Saying this directly to a Trump family member, and doing so on Fox News, gave his message a special weight. It was a moment that couldn't be ignored, and it resonated far beyond the studio walls. Almost instantly, social media lit up with reactions, some praising Charlamagne's candor, others questioning his motives. The conversation spilled into podcasts, talk shows, and living rooms across the country. The stage was set for a firestorm within the Republican Party, as the nation watched to see what would happen next. Charlemagne's prediction was clear and bold, cutting through the noise of political commentary with a sense of urgency that few could ignore. He foresaw a political coup brewing within the Republican Party, one not of violence but of ideology and leadership. Traditional conservatives, long overshadowed by the rise of the MAGA movement, were preparing to reclaim their influence and steer the party back toward its roots. These Republicans, increasingly uncomfortable with the brash style and unpredictable tactics of the MAGA era, have been quietly biding their time. They've watched as the party's identity shifted, waiting for the right moment to step forward and reassert their vision for the GOP's future. The Epstein controversy, Charlamagne argued, could be that pivotal moment. The scandal's reach is so broad and its implications so serious that even Trump's most loyal supporters are demanding answers. It's an issue that transcends party lines and calls for real transparency. For traditional conservatives, this is a rare opportunity. By championing the call for accountability, they can align themselves with the Republican base's demand for truth, without having to directly attack Trump or his legacy. By taking the lead on the Epstein issue, these conservatives could begin to rebuild trust within the party, bridging the widening gap between the old guard and the MAGA faithful. It's a chance to show leadership and unity at a time when division threatens the party's future. But Charlamagne warned that any direct confrontation with Trump would be doomed to fail. Trump remains a political juggernaut, commanding fierce loyalty and dominating the party's narrative. The only viable path for traditional Republicans, he suggested, is to find common ground on issues that matter deeply to the base, like the Epstein scandal, rather than trying to outdo Trump at his own game. His message was clear: seize this moment of opportunity, but do it with strategy and purpose. The time for action is now, but it must be calculated and unifying. The future of the Republican Party may well depend on how its leaders respond to this challenge, whether they can rise above division and chart a new course, or remain trapped in the battles of the past. President Trump wasted no time responding. On August 3rd, he took to Truth Social, launching a blistering attack on Charlamagne. He called Charlamagne a racist sleazebag and questioned his credibility, a classic Trump move to energize supporters and discredit critics. Trump dismissed Charlemagne's analysis, insisting he knows nothing about me or my achievements. He pivoted to tout his own record, ending wars, building the economy, reinforcing his image as a results-driven leader. The post shifted the conversation from Charlemagne's theory to the spectacle of their feud. For Trump's base, it was another example of their leader fighting back against the establishment. The exchange dominated headlines, overshadowing the original debate. The president's response was swift, aggressive, and designed to rally his supporters. During the interview, Lara Trump pushed back against Charlemagne's coup theory. Calm but firm, she argued the Republican Party has been permanently transformed by Trump's leadership. "We'll never see another traditional Republican election," she said, declaring the old guard era over. The MAGA movement, she insisted, is now the party's core identity. There's no going back. The party is defined by energy, passion, and a direct connection between leader and base. Lara Trump's message: the changes are here to stay, and the party is stronger for it. Anyone hoping for a return to pre-Trump politics misunderstands the realignment. The MAGA movement is the Republican Party now. The Epstein case is the spark behind this political firestorm. Epstein's crimes and elite connections have fueled demands for transparency, with many calling for all case files to be released. The Department of Justice's reluctance has bred suspicion and anger across the political spectrum. For Trump, past associations with Epstein complicate matters, as his supporters demand full disclosure. The issue unites MAGA and traditional conservatives, both demanding accountability. Charlamagne sees this as the opening for traditional Republicans to regain influence. The Epstein controversy isn't left versus right. It's about trust, justice, and the fight against elite corruption. This shared frustration could reshape the party's internal dynamics. The MAGA base's loyalty to Trump has been legendary, but the Epstein controversy is testing that bond. For the first time, some of his most dedicated supporters are openly frustrated, questioning why the administration hasn't released all the files. The fight against elite corruption is central to their beliefs, and the lack of action is troubling. This has created a glitch in the MAGA machine, with some seeing Trump as part of the system he vowed to dismantle. Commentators note that this perception, fair or not, marks a significant rupture. The movement isn't collapsing, but the foundation is showing cracks. Even the most loyal supporters have limits, especially when core values are at stake. Charlamagne identified this as a political opportunity for traditional Republicans. The party's unity is no longer guaranteed. The Trump-Charlamagne feud quickly became a media spectacle, with commentators from all sides weighing in. Critics saw Trump's response as divisive, targeting a prominent black voice and dodging uncomfortable truths. Supporters argued he was defending himself against baseless attacks, and that the party remains unified under MAGA. Some, like MSNBC's Ali Velshi, focused on the Epstein case as the real source of tension, calling it a glitch in the MAGA machine. The debate is bigger than personalities. It's about race, power, and the future of the Republican Party. The fight exposed a real vulnerability that could have lasting consequences. The party's internal struggle is now on full display. The Trump-Charlamagne clash is more than a war of words. It's a mirror of the Republican Party's identity crisis. Will the party remain defined by the MAGA movement and Trump's leadership, or will traditional conservatives find a way back? Lara Trump's vision is a party fully embracing its new populist identity, with loyalty to Trump as the core value. Charlamagne predicts frustration over issues like Epstein could open the door for traditional Republicans to rebuild trust. The party could evolve into a hybrid, blending MAGA energy with old guard principles. But it's a delicate balance. The outcome will shape not just the party, but the direction of American politics. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. The future of the Republican Party, and perhaps the country, hangs in the balance.